All right, what's going on? It's your boy King June here. You know, we in the third installment for the GOAT series, and I got a special guest, a real special guest. You know, a homeboy of mine in the industry, you know, showed a lot of support, and I'm here to reciprocate that on the GOAT series. Man, I got Big D. What's going on, bro?
What's up, buddy? What's going on with you, man?
I can't call it, man. You tell me I've been trying to get up with you for a minute.
Hey, man, you know, my here on this grind, man, trying to push all this product out to the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What you got going on?
You know, the Rising movie. You know, the Andre Rising movie coming up. You know, man, you know, the reality shows and stuff I've been working with Chance and over at Zeus Network. Just little stuff like that. But the Rising movie been kind of keeping me real busy, man, for the last year.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I've been seeing clips of the red carpet.
Yeah,
man.
It
was lit, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
mad I couldn't
thought
get
you were
out
gonna
there
be there,
in
boy. I
time.
thought you were gonna be there to see that, boy.
Man, I got there a tad bit too late, but I saw the clips.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it was a moment.
Boy, it was like 2,000 up in there, man. Just came to come to see the thing, and then they gave us a standing ovation afterwards.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we got a standing O, man, when it went off. So, you know, hey, man, that thing it blew our mind.
Okay.
You know, it turned out so well, you know.
So, like, what inspired that, the whole project to come about?
Well, you know, it was always my vision, you know what I'm saying? You had TLC always told their story. You know, they got couples situations out there, you know, and they got to tell their story, but Andre never had, you know, his story told.
Okay.
You know, so I always told him, I said, man, we got to tell your story, you know what I mean? And then I was there, you know what I'm saying? I was there back then, you know, that's like my brother from another mother right there. So, you know, I just told him, we got to tell your story, man, from your side, you know. And, yeah, man, and we just end up getting the opportunity to finally do it. And we took advantage of it, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I was on your social media, man. I mean, I already knew about you, but there are certain things I didn't know.
Yeah.
Man, you was in the mix back in the day.
Hey, man, I was in the mix, man. I was in the mix, man.
Hey, man, I was looking on your page, and I seen that you had pictures with Tupac.
Oh, man, everybody, man.
Man, like
Big Meech before he was Big Meech, you know what I mean? You know, all them cats, man. I mean, you know, because I had Ghetto Mafia back then, you know what I mean? And we was underground for a while, man. We was underground like 5 years before we even came out with Straight from the Deck.
Okay.
And that was the first song that really took us mainstream. But before that, man, we was already out there underground. That's how I knew Master P and knew all them cats and Pac and all them and Breed, you know, and all of them, man. And yeah, so you know, I was kind of already out there, man. I was like one of the pioneers, forefathers of the joint. You know what I mean? That's what they say. That's word on the streets.
Yeah, and I seen I didn't know, and I'm an avid Pac fan.
Yeah.
He was in Atlanta a lot.
He stayed in Atlanta.
I
His
didn't
mama
know
lived
that.
in Stone Mountain.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
Pop mama lived in Stone Mountain, right off Memorial Drive. That part of Stone Mountain down, going all the way down Memorial Drive. Yeah. Afeni, she lived in Stone Mountain, man, for years. So whenever he was out, be on the road, whatever, he would always come back here. You know, that was home for him at that time, you know. And two of my lady friends, they were actually her assistants. You know, back then, two friends of mine, and they were Afeni assistants back then. So I had a real good relationship with them.
Okay. And so while we on that topic, how you feel about the biopic they put out?
Of Tupac? It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, man. You know, a lot of people, it's mixed reviews on it. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't like it, man. But, you know, I thought it did a good job, man. You know how hard it is to make a film. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a lot of components got to come together. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I respect anybody that go out there and shoot for it and go for it. You know what I mean? But it's mixed reviews on it. But, you know, for me, hey, I thought it did a good job with, you know what I mean? And then there's so much to Pac story. There's only so much you could tell in a couple of hours. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, so it's like just thumbing through, you know what I'm saying, as far as like your history and what you've been a part of. I've noticed that you was very, very, like you was, you know, around for the BMF era.
Oh, yeah.
What was that like? I know I was there. I was a young jit.
Yeah.
But actually being close to it? What was that like?
Oh man, that was something else, bro. That was an experience, my man. You know what I mean? That whole Young Jeezy movement, you know, that Meech was behind. You know, Meech was the one behind that. Right. You know, Jeezy riding around in Ferraris and stuff, man, before he even had a deal, thought about having a deal, because Meech believed in him, you know what I'm saying? So Meech just let him drive one of his Ferraris and everything. But, yeah, man, that era, man, that was one hell of an era, bro. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah, that was something special. And then I had just got home because I had to go do a little bid for a few years with the feds, you know. So, you know, I came home right when it had just took off. The BMF movement had just took off. So I came home right in the middle of it, you know. So when I came home, everybody, you know, I was moving with him. I'm everywhere with him. So everybody like, oh, Big D and BMF. I was like, hold on, I just got home, man. Y'all can't put me with these type of stuff, you know what I mean? I had just came home.
Right.
And but the word on the street was Big D with BMF because, you know, I was running with him everywhere. You know, I would just be with him all the time. And yeah, so when everything started falling down, you know, they started having their problems and stuff, you know. Yeah, Meech, you know, I mean, I just talked to Meech about it 'cause I just came home, so I'm telling him how these people operate. You know what I mean? So I had just dealt with that, and you know, he said he don't do nothing to spend money, so he figured, you know, I said, but that conspiracy thing, something else.
It's crazy.
That conspiracy law.
And then like what they went through is kind of what they're going through now with but they calling it the RICO. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same thing.
You know
it's
what I'm
the
saying?
exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. That's how they approach the BMF movement, because that's how you bring that whole law was started to bring down the mafia. You know what I mean? That's the only way they could get them, because them guys never touched nothing. So the only way you could do it is through conspiracy. You know what I mean? Which was the RICO Acts and stuff like that. And then everybody started telling on each other and all this kind of mess. Right. And they came up with a hell of a game with that, I tell you that. You know, it worked. It worked.
So, like, if you can compare Atlanta then and Atlanta now, what would you say the big difference could be?
Oh, Atlanta now?
Yeah.
Atlanta now is nothing. It's just based on what I seen, you know what I mean? Because that started the movement. Meech actually started the movement with the BMF, you know what I mean? So that's what brought everybody to Atlanta, you know. First it was the Freaknik. That was kind of the first draw. Freaknik brought everybody to the city, man, because you got to understand, I'm born and raised in Atlanta. So I've seen it in its different stages, you know. And before the Freaknik, Atlanta was just a country town. Basically, you
what
know.
side are you from?
Decatur.
Oh, you from the east side?
East side, baby,
okay.
Straight from the deck.
Okay.
That's right, straight from the deck. Yes. Yeah, but yeah. So you know, I kind of seen that. I seen when the Freaknik came, man, and everybody started coming here, man. Them folks didn't want to go home, man. They come here,
like that's what it seemed.
That's
like.
what it was.
They never went back home.
Man, they was sticking, man. They was sticking.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and it just went from that level when the Freaknik came, and then the BMF movement probably came a few years after that. You know, after Freaknik brought a lot of the artists and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was like one of the first artists to come out, you know, during that time, and Goody Mob, Outkast. So we was the only one really that was mainstream. You know, you still had Kilo and all them, but they was more like regional. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was just Goody Mob, Ghetto Mafia, and Outkast was like mainstream, you know. So that, and then Luda came, and then everybody started coming. Tip them came, then and just opened up doors.
Like, since you said that, one thing that came to my attention is I think people don't shine light on these two individuals, these two situations, which is Tight to Death with Raheem and Big Records.
Oh man, yeah, underrated, man.
It just seemed like, okay, it just went from Outkast and then it went to T.I.
Yeah.
They forget that little era right there in between.
Gap.
You know,
gap.
What you think about that, like far as the impact they made?
Well, like I said, it was more regional though. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we went outside of the region, you know what I'm saying? We went more, you know, mainstream. But they were just more regional, you know, and that's just kind of how it was back in them days. You know, you could have a lot of regional success, but outside of the region, when nobody even know you. Outside the Southeastern region, you know, New York, they wouldn't even know them. You know what I mean? So, you know, for us, it was like, wow, for me to go to New York and they'd be like, oh, okay, you Big D from Ghetto Mafia? Yeah, and they flip out like, whoa, man, we love y'all. Like, y'all went out goose out the South that, You know what I mean? Yeah, but if you didn't really make it outside of the region, then you were just kind of known as, you know, that. But the guys were good, man. You know, they were my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? And this, you know what I mean? Like,
And I
if you
think
just
that-
in Atlanta, that's all you knew.
I think that you know, they give a lot of props to like Master P for the concept of like selling their albums out the trunk. But I think that
Yeah.
I think Big Oomp
All of them did that.
They did that. Ludacris
They started
did
it. And like you
know?
said, but P got the credit because he the one went mainstream with it. See what I'm saying? And that's why I said them guys have been doing that.
Yeah, and like Big Oomp, just to add credit to him, he had his own shops.
Absolutely.
His own record
He could sell
stores.
records out his own store. You know what I mean?
You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
Oomp was killing the game, man. And that's why I said I had a lot of respect for them guys, man. And it's just like who you just said tight to death. What they doing with Raheem, them man, they was Raheem was hustling, man. You know what I mean? I was just running a Raheem everywhere, man. That man kept CDs in his trunk and you know, and to me, I'm like, hey, they was on the radio every day here. Hey, they was success, you know.
But the crazy thing about Raheem's situation is he did go mainstream to a certain extent with drama.
No, he went. I was going
With
to point that out.
Drama, yeah, with
he
Drama.
went mainstream with Drama because they ended up doing that deal. I think with Atlantic Records.
Yeah, Atlantic.
Yeah, he did.
And he
the
went
deal.
gold too.
Yeah,
Went
got him a
gold.
plaque and everything about it. But yeah, he did get the reach with Drama. But once again, it's just one of those situations. That's what happened to us. You know what I'm saying? We had put Straight from the Deck on the radio here in Atlanta, and it caught on, and it just got out there. And then I went and did the deal, you know, with Ernest Singleton out in L.A., and, you know, they took it mainstream. But same thing happened with Drama. He had a hit record, took off here in Atlanta, and then he was able to go do the distribution deal, you know, with Atlantic and, you know, take it mainstream.
So why don't you think you know, Ghetto Mafia didn't go further than what they did?
Well, we were gangster rappers, you know. It's
But I
gangster
think there
rap.
was a pocket for it though. You know,
At that time it was, you know, Master P had opened the doors up big time for Southern gangster rap, you know what I mean? P opened the door a good time. Now, mind you, I was in the belly of the beast at the time. I was in the joint, you know what I'm saying? And so I was still operating the record company from the joint, so my hands were tied, you know what I mean? So I wasn't able to be out there like P, them pushing, you know. So the guys, you know, Nino and Wicked was just kind of out here by themselves. And I was really the machine, you know what I mean? I was the Master P of our clique, you know what I mean? So by me having my hand tied up in the feds, you know what I mean? I couldn't move around. So I think that kind of what happened to us, man, you know, and then, you know, you just got to keep coming with hits, man. And, you know, I used to always tell Nino Wick, man, hey, man, y'all want to keep it gutter all the time, man. Y'all got to go do with Peter, make some club music. And,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's crazy because they opened doors for a lot of like, especially East Side rappers. You know what I'm saying? You had
Absolutely.
who did you have? What's that group that was from that side? They sing that- I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a duo. They sing
the
that.
duo.
I don't like the look of it. That's the sample they use.
Young Blood.
Backwoods.
Oh, yeah, I heard, yeah.
Remember them? Backwoods?
I remember
They
them,
from the
yeah, I
deck.
remember them, yeah.
Well, shit, of course,
Young
you know,
Bloods,
Young
too.
Bloods.
Young Bloods, too, yeah.
Shit, we can go all the way to Gucci Mane.
Yeah, with Gucci Mane. Yeah, Gucci Mane. That's right. East Side.
They got to be the godfathers of the East Side.
Yeah, oh yeah, no question. Yeah, the godfather of Atlanta, really, as far as gangster rap music. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jeezy, Tip, all of them, you know, they all give us our props. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, the street. Matter of fact, you know, Wicked and Tip had a little thing because Tip was running around saying he was started trap music. You know, so Wick kind of like felt a certain type of way about it, you know.
I seen that.
Oh, you did? Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
seen that.
Yeah, so, you know, he addressed it and you know, they talked about it and, you know, Tip came out and said, yeah, well, you did have them boys, you know, that was doing that thing. But, you know, Tip would just took it to the next level. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he commercialized.
Yeah, he commercialized.
the term.
Absolutely.
You know,
he commercialized.
Because you gotta think about it. Kilo was talking trap shit
And
back
then
in the
Kilo,
day.
that's what I said.
That was like what 89,
Right.
90 or
I'm
something like that.
Yeah, Kilo talking trap stuff, and you know, and yeah, it was a lot of cats, man. And that's what I said, hold on, Tip, slow down. You got to acknowledge these cats.
I think he just meant like just
No,
the
he
term.
did. No,
just
he
the-
did. And like I said, we cleared it up totally. You know what I'm saying? And he went back and cleared it up on what's your man name out in L.A. Fat Fat Daddy, the big guy. He used to be big.
Big Boy.
Big Boy.
Big Boy.
Yeah, Tip. You can see it online. Tip did an interview with Big Boy, and he shot at Kilo and everybody out on
Man,
that.
he need to come back to Atlanta and get on like Beehive or come to the GOAT series.
Talk about who that?
Yeah, clear that up, man.
Yeah,
because I didn't hear that.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
right.
Because I think Atlanta, especially this generation, need to know like.
That's
you
right.
know, we just, to me, I'm from here.
That's right.
So it's like I have a passion, a soft spot for Atlanta because it's like we didn't just emerge like when
Hey,
people
man.
noticed us. We've
For
been
real.
like
We
far as
been
rap,
Oh man,
late
they
80s.
have no idea.
You know what I'm saying? And
They
it's
have
like
no idea.
it's crazy.
Shy
man.
D and all them. Matter of fact, I wanted to do some type of documentary or something on that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I had started before we started shooting the movie. I had actually started filming. You know what I'm saying? I got some clips with Big Santa from Lil Jon, the East Side Boys, and a couple other cats, Big Duke and Boys in the Hood and all that, talking about the old Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely. Maybe me and you need to hook up and do it.
Come on, I'm with it.
Yeah.
And people don't know that Atlanta had an Apollo out here.
You said Apollo?
Apollo on
about-
Barge Road.
What?
Over there, right there off, you know where the parking ride was? It's a mosque now.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know what the
That's DJ Hershey got his start there, and I think Toomp started there, but it was Atlanta Apollo,
Wow.
and my uncle ran it
Wow.
back in the day, and you know
Wow.
it was
I
it,
bought-
was,
yeah.
it was in effect probably for like a good 2 years, 3 years or something like that. It didn't last that long,
Gotcha.
but it was popular for like open mics and you know
Gotcha.
and functions like that.
Speaking of Toomp, I bought Toomp his first MPC. Yeah, I bought Toomp his first MPC.
Man, I've been wanting to get up with Toomp. Like he, outside of him, who's a dope producer? Like Organized Noise,
Yeah,
and,
Rico and
Big
them.
Boy.
Rico, yeah.
Hey, they inspired me far as on the production side, producing.
Gotcha.
I love like their sounds and stuff.
Right. Yeah, man. Them cats was cold, man.
I've
In
been-
the basements, getting it done. You know?
I've been following Toomp when he was doing Loop. I think he was doing.
He lived with Brother Marquis.
Yeah.
See, when I bought him his MPC, he was living with Brother Marquis in Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been knowing Toomp since back then.
Yeah.
When he was doing the 2 Live stuff.
See, y'all folks need to learn y'all history. Atlanta has a lot
Oh
of
man,
input.
I'm talking about for real,
Like
man.
bass, booty music.
What?
Atlanta.
That's
is
right.
Man, come on,
But
man.
Miami had their thing, and then we had our thing with the bass and booty music stuff. You know, both of it.
But people think that we stole that sound. But you got to know, one of the producers from Atlanta,
Right
was
did
behind
Miami.
that.
That's right.
Come on,
That's
man.
right.
We gave them the sauce.
No question, man.
You know what I'm saying?
No
So-
question. There's a lot of history there.
But I can honestly say, man, I think you need to do a biopic on yourself.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm gonna do my movie.
You have to.
I'm gonna do the movie. Everybody says the
It's
same
like
thing.
from
You
your
got
point
to.
of view, from your
Yeah.
point of view, you could just take all the elements, the
Yeah.
errors you witnessed.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that'll be a good story.
Nah, I think so too. And I'm gonna touch on it a little bit. As I said, I do want to do this doc. I want to go ahead and get the Andre Rison movie out. You know, I did the Bobby Brown stuff. You know, I wrote his book, and they done spin off 3 movies from my book that I wrote on Bobby Brown. Like I was the first autobiography of Bobby Brown, 2008. Bobby Brown, The Truth, The Whole Truth, and Nothing But. That's the book that when it was first exposed. I'm him and Whitney we're going through that divorce, and me and Bobby wrote it together, and that's when it first came out that he said Whitney put him on drugs, and everybody had always thought that
It was the other way
it was the other
around.
way around. Yeah, and when that book came out, man, I'm talking about you Google my name. You still Google my name right now to this day. All that stuff come up first. Yeah, all that stuff come
Yeah,
up
we
first.
need to talk about getting you a biopic, man. I think you
Yeah.
deserve it, bro, because it's
Yeah,
like
it's a lot, man.
You got so many gems. I feel like that needs to be,
Absolutely.
to be out there.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
I
mean?
was at the forefront of, and a lot of stuff I don't even talk about. You know, of course, with Chance and Real, Real Chance of Love that was on VH1. You know what I mean? I the one started that show. You know, I the one did the first pilot and all that and got them they did with VH1 after they came off I Love New York. They from LA. They from LA.
Like, how
so-
did you get in, in that circle? Like,
Well,
around-
my partner, one of my partners I was in the feds with, he was real close to them. And just one day he called me, man. It was like, yeah, you know them cats, man, that was on the show in New York. I said, you talking about the brothers? He was like, yeah, the brothers. I was like, he said, yeah, they right here, man. They over here with me. And I'm like, man, put that boy Chance on the phone. you know, and he got on the phone. I'm like, hey, man, y'all boys killed that show. Y'all did a good job, you know, and that thing was like off the chain. I said, I tell y'all what, y'all need y'all own show. I said, you know, I want to fly y'all to Atlanta, man, and we can do a pilot or something, you know. I flew in Atlanta for 8 days. They stayed here 8 days, man. I took them boys all over the city, man. Took them to Lenox Mall and everything. And folks, man, and it just blew my mind because I didn't realize how big them show, that flavor and love and all that stuff was.
Yeah.
Until I witnessed it myself, man. I took them dudes to Lenox Mall, man. We had to get the security to take us out. And I done been in Lenox Mall with it, ushering everybody, you know.
Right,
they ain't never had no security to take them out, you know. Yeah, man, them girls was going crazy over these cats when that show first came out. So I was like, man. So I had my camera following us everywhere we went. We was doing the pilot, you know what I mean? So, man, VH1 seen that stuff, man. We sent that stuff to Chris Abrego, them from VH1. Man, them folk called us back with it an hour.
Oh, man.
After they seen that footage, yeah, man. They was like, let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah.
So, what you got, like, planned for the future? Like, you know,
Well, I got my movie coming, you know what I'm saying? My movie, which is it's gonna be an ATL gangster story. It's Nino Brown. It's coming from that perspective, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
People get
man.
to see that side of me and why I went to the feds and all that, and why I was hanging with Andre Rison and all them, you know, had the kind of money they had back then.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And all the ball players and everybody, you know what I mean? That's where the name Big D came from. You know what I mean? It wasn't because I was big, you know, big guy. You know, I was big in the streets.
Okay.
You know, same thing with Big Meech. Like, and that me and Meech used to joke about that. I ain't call me Big Meech because I'm big. I ain't that big about me, but that paper.
Facts,
You know what
facts,
I mean?
facts.
Yeah,
so, like, what made you make a transition from the streets into, like, you know?
I always wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? Music was always my first passion. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, really the music for me, I mean, the streets for me was just to fund my music. You know what I'm saying? So I can get my music out there. So I hustled, you know, and made my own way, man, you know, because I was independent. You know what I mean? I was independent the whole time. So that what people didn't realize. Even when I did my distribution deal, I had a P deal. You know what I'm saying? I had an 80-20. You see what I'm saying?
Niggas ain't getting it like that no
Right.
more.
Yeah, unheard of, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Unheard of, you know, so.
So it's like, is that paper the same as the, like, music paper you would say? Or is it better?
Or the street paper?
Yeah. In
Well,
comparison.
you know, the music paper, hey, man. The music paper come pretty fast, man. You know,
Right.
it'll tell you to do nothing but get out there, man. That thing, you sell, because what happened was straight from the deck, man. I dropped that thing. Gray Street dropped that thing for me, man, and he put it out, and he dropped it, and that thing just took off, man, on his own, man. The next thing you know, everybody in this region was calling, all the radio stations, everything, trying to, you know, get the record. Like, we need the record. They want to put it on the radio. So it kind of took off on its own, but I said all that to say that, man, I'm talking about, I had an order for 300,000 copies. You know what I mean? Yeah. Immediately. You know what I'm saying? Within 6 months, you know, 4 to 6 months. You know, that's almost $3 million back then. See, that's what people don't realize. When you independent,
That's all
you
straight to
talking
you.
about $8. Yeah, you using $8 a CD. You know, we was getting $8 a CD.
We need to get back to that, man. How
You see
can
what
we
I'm saying?
get back to that?
Right.
Direct to consumer, all that, man.
It's impossible though, because of that, you know, you had CDs back then. Now everything is digital, man. So you can't even really put your hands on. That's the thing that I say. I like, man. I don't even know if I like the game now because, you know, I was used to that CD money. You know what I'm saying? If I ordered 10,000 CDs, I knew what I was supposed to get back. You know, and that's how it went. It was physical. You could touch it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
Oh man, I mean, you know, for me, man, it's just a hustle. You know, I'm a hustler, man, and I show people how to hustle. You know what I mean? I open a lot of doors for a lot of cats, man. You wouldn't even believe it, bro, if I told you. But yeah, so you know, I always, you know, was that guy that just, you know, show everybody you can do it. You know, even Block, first thing Block told me, man, you know, he like, hey, man, let me tell you something, you inspired me. Block told me I inspired him, you know what I'm saying? And that was from, and that was from the outside, you know what I mean? But he knew me through my daughter's mom. Okay. So, you know, he knew me through her, but he watched me through that situation. And he said, boy, you inspired me. You the one made me go out and get it. Say, I can do it.
Facts. Now I say that, you know, I could say had that same testimony. Like far as like, you know what I'm saying, just by watching your interview with Beehive. I'm like,
yeah.
man, I got a link with that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was
and
a
I've
good
been
interview.
and I've heard stories just, you know, as coming up.
Yeah.
I knew of you, but I never, you know, knew
Right.
you like that.
Right,
But
yeah, I
it's
was
like-
always super low key.
Yeah,
I ain't
I
never
knew
be no
of you.
videos. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
in nothing, you know what I mean? Because I was in the street still, you know what I mean? I had stayed 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I'm like, I wouldn't be in no video, no, get that camera with me.
Yeah, that's how it was back in the day.
Yeah, back
man.
then, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, I've been seeing you on Instagram a long time ago. Man, you've been following each other a long
yeah.
time ago. And I like, okay. And then I see stuff you posted. And I like what you're doing. I see you.
Yeah,
I
and,
see you.
and I, you know, I carry that same energy. Like I'm a hustler, man. I'm
That's right.
just planting
That's right.
seeds,
And I love it. I love it.
You know,
I
whatever
love it,
works, and whoever be like, hey, June, we, you know,
That's
whatever
right.
creates a big situation, I'm all.
That's
I'm-
right. I see you. And it just, hey, man, it don't take nothing but that one little break.
Yeah.
Open up the floodgates. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That one little break, man. You know, and that's all it takes. You just keep working, grinding. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then just next thing you know is voila.
And I would like to also thank you for the opportunity for having me in your podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. You in the Andre Rod story. That's right. You are in that. That's right. Yeah, he's in the Andre Rod. He made it. He made your way in there at the last minute. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
When it's all said and done, too, I'll link you with my guy Ponzo.
Okay. Okay.
I admire him a great deal.
Yeah.
He's an artist, entrepreneur, mogul
Gotcha.
from Buffalo.
Oh, New York. Oh man, that was Jerry May from my director who directed the movie. But he made his way around. Made his way around. That's right. That's right. And that's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. Oh no, absolutely, man. I'm always open to meet, you know, other guys on that grind, man. I'm always open.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all follow Big D on Instagram.
Yeah, we're DEE_Spike, SPIKE. DEE_Spike.
And y'all check out, you know, Wide Open is coming.
Yeah, the Wide Open movie, man, coming to a theater near you. We working on closing the deals now, the distribution stuff now. So yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna work on that, man, and Atlanta history. I want to do that. I love to do it with you. Yeah. All right. ATL, straight from the tip.